So I got a couple of private messages about this map in the thumbnail of my last video, and the question was, is this map some sort of Russian attack plan? Well, no, not exactly, but the story behind that map is pretty amazing. Let me explain. Most people have forgotten that right before Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the world was watching another monumental event unfold. You guessed it, the 2022 Winter Olympics held in Beijing, China. Now, the Winter Olympics officially ran from 4th of February to 20th of February, with one particular country being banned from the events. Can you guess? That's right, Russia. Now, not wanting to upset the world further, or maybe using the distraction of the Olympics, Russia probably decided to move massive numbers of its military forces into neighboring Belarus and waited until 4 days after the Olympics were over to invade Ukraine. They waited just 4 days. Way to go, Putin. So what's with the map? I made that map on the 15th of February. You can see that on this date right here, just 1 week before the invasion. In this map, I was simply postulating on where Russia might attack. I got some things right and some things not so right. At the time, I believed, correctly as it turned out, that the attacks on Ukraine would need to come from many directions at the same time in order to overwhelm Ukraine's ability to defend and resist. I estimated that the main thrust would likely come in the north from neighboring Belarus against most diplomatic treaties and customs. But it didn't matter. Belarus would be used as a staging area, and already in mid-February, there was lots of data indicating a huge Russian military buildup in Belarus. So the attack from Belarus territory wasn't so much of a surprise. It was just putting two and two together. The attack would, of course, go directly against Kiev, and in the first few weeks, the Ukrainian capital was threatened with being encircled and cut off from the rest of the country. The situation seemed dire, but Russia had not counted on the ex-comedian turned president of the country of Ukraine, and the Ukrainian people stood shoulder to shoulder with their president and fought back fiercely. Then something amazing happened. The melting winter snow turned into a quagmire of mud, and the poor Russian logistics and equipment maintenance created huge breakdowns along the roads, probably the most massive vehicle pileup ever witnessed, even worse than New York City's traffic. The Ukraine military wasted no time to attack using commandos, artillery, drones, and missiles, anything that could get their hands on, and quickly the northern Russian advance turned into a rout. Russia's military in the north was pushed back beyond its starting positions in Belarus and had to retreat all the way back to Russia if it was to survive. We have to recognize Russia's defeat in this sector by Ukraine's smaller military, since Russia has not attempted another mass attack against Kiev. The Russian bear was slapped in the face. Also in the map, I correctly indicated that Russia would parlay its rebel support in the center, secure parts of eastern Ukraine, though that area has since been pushed back, and conduct amphibious landings in the area of Mariupol, which began on the 25th of February. That port city was vital to Russia for two main reasons. The roadway needed to supply the attacks against Zaporizhia and Kherson, as well as secure this port city to prevent Ukraine from using it as a base of attacks or as a shipping center. The map also shows attacks from Crimea to the southern sectors of Ukraine, which would also take Kherson, Melitopol, and the other important port city in the area, Berdyansk. Lastly, I marked on the map the southern amphibious landings against Odessa, along with attacks from Moldova. Okay, I got that one wrong. On 14th April, Ukraine struck a heavy blow against Russia when it attacked and sank the Russian warship Moskva, which had been the flagship of the Russian Navy's Black Sea Fleet. It effectively destroyed Russia's ability to conduct any major amphibious offensives against the area of Odessa, and therefore failed to cut off Ukraine from all seaport access. But yeah, I still got the whole Moldova joining Russia's attack thing wrong. Alright, so that's it. I made the map purely postulating on Russia's ability to attack Ukraine a week before the actual invasion, looking at the most probable areas of attack. We now know that Ukraine has successfully pushed out all Russian forces in the north and northeast, as well as recaptured areas in Kherson. At the time of this video, the Russian Wagner Group forces have been destroyed and disbanded. I'll leave a link to my Wagner Group video here for context. In addition, Ukraine has also started to mount counteroffensives threatening to advance past Melitopol and cut off Russian forces. See my prior video, which I'll put a link above and in the description below, which is where this whole map thing question came from. So that's the story behind my map. What do you think? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, would you mind hitting the like button and consider subscribing to the channel so that I can continue to make videos just like this one and the others that you can watch on my channel. Thanks again. Catch you on the next one.
Oh my gosh!